G'day Bear fans, it's time for the March 2021 update. Stay tuned. G'day Bear fans, this is the March 2021 update short video. There's a long video that accompanies this video, so if you really want the gory details, you can watch some of that video. This is going to be why is the motor upside down on an engine stand, and what am I doing in March. So let's go over all of the stuff that has to be hooked up here. This is the power steering pump. I've determined that it's the same exact inlet as a New Edge power steering pump. So I can follow a lot of the same instructions that have been figured out by various people, and I'm going to document a fairly inexpensive solution here for hydroboost, because we need hydroboost. And I'm going to hope that this pump works. If it doesn't, you'll know, and then you'll be seeing me use an electric pump. Big deal. Alternator, there's a main wire that comes off this alternator. That's it right there. I'll figure out how to rig that into the New Edge system, especially since I labeled all my wiring. So the alternator's pretty well settled. Motor mounts, okay. Oh, by the way, there's our ground. Don't forget your ground. Don't forget your ground. Motor mounts, basically this is Chris Neve's design, and I'm going to be painting these different color, but decided they're perfect. I'm going to use those exactly as they are, no adjustments. Document and everything. If you need to use the same setup, you can download a spreadsheet and follow what I did. 2.5 inch exit exhaust. This is Vibrant's piece. It's a Summit part. This will be where it starts. I'll have to make a pipe that takes this to a New Edge style X pipe. It'll actually split there and go to the mufflers, because my current solution, like I said, is naturally aspirated. There's only one modification I'm doing to the oil pan, and that's to add future pickups for a scavenge oil pump. It came to me taken apart, so Chris basically dropped the motor off directly at my house back in a couple of years ago almost, and he told me how to put it together, but I've watched some video and going to be getting the right Loctite stuff and making a video on how to put your oil pump back, oil pan back. Flywheel, figured out the flywheel, or which flywheel I'm using, ordered the clutch, and the master cylinder, or slave cylinder, to drive the clutch. That's another story altogether. Found some parts that probably are going to work. You'll know if I'm using them. If they're not, I'll document that too. What else is going on here? Here's the other side of the motor mounts. Let's take a look at these fuel pickups. These are quick connects. To get you started, you can just use the regulator that's on that fuel rail, which I don't know if it's visible. So basically, these are 6AN for return in and feed. So I'll run 8AN to and reduce it to 6AN for the initial build of this car, and then later, if I need more fuel, there'll be plenty of line and pump, because I've got an Aeromotive A1000 in the trunk and the tank running. So what else? Keeping that stock air intake, which means I'm likely going hydroboost, as I've already said, and also means that I have a dual runner intake, which is kind of cool. I'm going to ditch this transmission cooler. I just don't think I need it. I could always add it back later if I'm crazy, but I don't see why I would do that. What else is going on here? That's the engine and all this stuff I figured out. There's just parts strewn across my garage. Engine bay is about the same as it was. Let's take a look at the fuel tank, which is coming together here. This is my fuel tank. Pardon all of the hammers laying around and stuff. That's just to tack this in place, this foam. I'm basically getting ready to sew this tank back up. What is that? You're probably asking. My Coyote swap car has a 94 to 97 fuel hat and fuel tank in a 94 to 97 fuel sender with the level. I decided I would use the same hat for this car since I had one. You don't have to do what I did. I urge you not to. But I came up with a way to use lug nuts and some weird trickery to figure out a way to make a locking mechanism that will hold that fuel hat in place. And that'll come out in the build video. But anyways, I will have a 94 to 97 fuel hat where the tip over fitting is normally on a tank. And the stock fuel pump and everything will still be in the car and functional only if I want it to be, for example, to drain the tank, which that came from Rick Mortimer. He had a suggestion to make a drain, and I realized I already had a perfect way to drain it if I just kept everything about that hat working, because I'm using it for fuel level sending. What's all that black stuff? That's Herculiner. The entire tank is coated in Herculiner. So, and that's another project there, so just ignore that. This is basically almost done. As soon as I get everything sewed back up in here with Loctite and so on, I'll be happy. We'll fit that back up into the car with the doors in place and then begin running AN line, which is going to be another story. But so that's where I'm at. I'm almost to the point of assembling my fuel system, and if it works the way I think it will, you'll have a document you can follow to do it. Rather inexpensive AN setup in any situation, even if you don't go crazy with your fuel hat like I did. Use any number of fuel hats here, including the 98 Cobra one, which apparently is got a return. You know, there's a bunch of choices here. Well, my document will reflect that, but I will talk about how I did my Barra that way. What else did I figure out this week? I am going with a hydraulic clutch setup. Pulled the pedal box. I've got to do some cut and paste for that, so that'll be interesting. And getting ready to paint my K-member with Herculiner as well, so that will be similar looking to that, but it'll be protected, all the parts that don't have moving things attached to them. And I think that catches us up. That's where I'm at in March. Hope you enjoyed this shorthand video. There will be longhand versions that show this tank in more of a build state and some of these decisions as well. So this is the short one. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe.